All right. It took somewhere around like an hour, but I've got Kid Pix work. I had to. I actually have two different versions of Kid Pix because I have Kid Pix 3D, which is the latest retail version. It actually runs on. It's actually compatible with Windows 11, but it refuses to capture and is only willing to run in full screen. Like, there are no options. So this is Kid Pix Studio 3 running on a Windows XP virtual machine in compatibility mode for Windows 98. Which it's unfortunate that that took me a bit too long to realize, I could try compatibility mode. Considering that I had already reinstalled the entire program and QuickTime, just in case the problem was that QuickTime was the wrong version. But now we can actually get into what will be probably the next hour and 45 minutes. So let's get some music going. This is maybe a little dramatic for Kid Pix. And I'm just gonna pull up a random card on Scryfall. They got Nightmare Incursion. Oh, this is... This is fantastic. Let me just grab an image of that to use as a reference. Yes, let's see. Which it seems like the palette is a little limited. Okay, I'm seeing some very murky sort of browns. So let's just... I should probably actually use the paint bucket. Getting that nice dark brown. Then later on, you know, let's actually get the guy that's in the muck. Let's get him in first, and then worry about... So here's a real fantastic thing. My cursor becomes invisible once I start drawing. Just transformed the wrong thing to fit the screen. Trying to get better capture. Because I'm noticing that there's a bit of warping. There we go, that's a bit nicer to look at. Okay, just gonna adjust the shape I've got here. There, because I can't. This guy's kind of an angle. Right, but there's a neck. There we go, we've got something resembling a hand. He's got like a pauldron, sort of golden color. The lips seem to be like a deep red. Yeah, I think I can maybe trim that schnoz a little bit. If I make some more room between the nose and the mouth, it will look a little bit less like a mustache. Maybe we can actually... Okay, get some...
No way. Yuck.
Whoops.
Oh man.
Undo.
Yikes!
Now wait a minute.
Yeah, I don't think I can undo far enough to completely... Maybe there's a stamp that will be of some use here. I don't think so. Oh, I mean, there's eyes. I think we've kind of got it. Which I can apparently only save in the proprietary KidPix format. Alright, so let's get another random card. Power Stone Minefield. Hailed from Apocalypse. Alright, so we've got the ground, we've got sky. I think we go for sky first. I just accidentally left the paint zone, which is not what I intended to do. Oh, here we go. We've got... And, you know, I think for aesthetic purposes, we might as well make maximum use of the KidPix tool set. Oh yeah, because there's no like layers here. I have to fully fill in an area by hand if I want to be able to have an area that I then use the paint bucket on. Alright, sort of a tan color. Color for the ground, although there is also sand. Yeah, you can only undo like one action. And then there's like white lightning all over the ground from the power stones. And so there's an elf. It looks to be some kind of blue guy in the background. So let's get blue guy in before we do the elf, because blue guy's behind everybody else. Yeah, with no option to do layers. There's I kinda have to pay attention to how things are layered, and to, where possible, draw them in order from background to foreground. Alright, blue guy is in. So I guess we do Minotaur next. Yeah, the Guilty Gear soundtrack is maybe a little dramatic for what that. And the loincloth seems to be sort of a tealish color. And the arm holding the sword is behind the head, so gotta be careful to draw that in before drawing in the head. It's like a thing that might be armor or maybe tattoos. What sort of a blue-gray? There's some on the head, so I'm just gonna make the head that color. Yeah, for consistency, the sword can also be that color. And the Minotaur's fighting like a metal guy. It's almost getting close to 3 already.
Oh man.
Which, I mean, you know, did take me a while to get this game into a functional state. Well, game... Not really much of a game, it's an art program. So, you know, to get this art program into a functional state. Yeah, I'm just gonna use the one color for the metal guy. Well, metal guy 1 because there's a guy that's at least covered in metal in the front too. I think I maybe made this a little bit big. I should get the hair in before I do the ear. Since the ear is in front of the hair. I wonder what people are thinking when they browse through the art category. Probably see, you know, all these people doing some really cool stuff, and then there's just me. Doing this. We need a bit of a brown. Not for the clothes. I mean, like, chances are I'm going to be raiding into somebody in the art category because I usually raid into somebody in the same category. And inevitably they're going to ask, "Oh yeah, how was your stream? What were you doing?" And I'm gonna have to tell them that I was recreating an intricate battle scene from Magic the Gathering in a children's art program. It ended up looking like this. Right now I've just got the other metal guy. The one with the pointy fingers. Which I'm drawing entirely with the mouse, which I feel like KidPix is kind of designed for. Because, like, you really expect a child to learn how to use a drawing tablet? Honestly, I can barely use the drawing tablet. Like, I have one. I pretty much never use it because half the time, like, I think I've got set up wrong or something. Because half the time, maybe the outcome ends up being worse than if I draw with the mouse and keyboard. Well, I guess it's mouse, because, like, what would you use a keyboard to draw? Also seems to be some lagginess. Like, I don't know if that's something up with my computer or KidPix is struggling with the level of detail that I'm putting into this. So time to just get that weird fucking hand in. Like my mouse is lagging. So maybe I should actually, if I can locate where my stylus is, use my drawing tablet. Because, I mean, a drawing tablet is effectively just a mouse. It's just a mouse that feels more like drawing.
Oh no.
Okay, it's not anything wrong with my mouse, I don't think. Is just KidPix or the virtual machine that it's running on lagging. Which is fantastic. Especially since this is the only setup. Well, I think my whole computer might be lagging a little bit. Like, it seems to be taking a little longer for the bars tracking my audio in OBS. That is to move. Oh, and yeah, this is real bad. I'm gonna save this. Exit out of Kid Pix and see if that improves things. Yeah, maybe if I... Yeah, I'm actually gonna power down the virtual machine and see if that gets things working a little bit better. Because, like, OBS is visibly freezing up. Like, hopefully I'm still live at the moment, because... Yeah, now that the virtual machine is off, everything's fine now. Well, let me see if I can... I can reduce some resource usage. Yeah, like maybe I don't need to have the software for my scanner running right now. I might also be able to alter the settings for the virtual machine. Alright, so let's see if maybe just restarting the virtual machine will fix things. Alright, so far seems promising. Okay, so it's actually working better than it was before. Because it didn't even play the intro before. At first I wasn't sure if it was going to work because it was just sitting here in the void for a little while. Now to figure out how to open a file. Maybe it's this? Or that might be the option to print. Which is not going to work. No, that's the option to print. Okay, I might have to... I think I'm just gonna get a new random card. Because I can't figure out how to reopen that, so... Yeah, sure, we're doing Rubinia Soul Singer. Here we go. So the very back seems to be sort of a bluish color. Then we've got a lot of trees. At the very least, a lot of branches. I'm not sure if those are entire trees or what. It might just be one tree. Then adds in some forest green. Yeah, thinking maybe after I finish this one, rather than continuing to do random cards, what if we switched over to doing tokens? Because then, like if you make a token with custom art, then that's a usable game piece, even in tournaments. Well, I guess, like maybe if somebody being, like, especially anal about things, you might run into trouble using custom tokens. Just because somebody might be like, oh, it's not clear enough because it doesn't use the artwork. It doesn't use the artwork I'm familiar with as somebody who actually uses only official tokens. Like, no. Like, not even just no custom art tokens. But also not any of the options that are explicitly approved by Wizards of the Coast. Such as using dice or bottle caps. This is kind of... I hope there's nobody like this. Because it would suck to run into someone like that at a tournament. But I mean, I do remember years ago, I was playing in a standard tournament. And somebody got pissy with me because they didn't like that I was I was not using the official. I was not using the energy reminder card. And even more so, the number of little like glass bead kind of things, because that's what I was using to track energy. Like that cat tells you roughly what year. Here this was, considering that it was a point in time at which energy was a mechanic that was in standard. Which has only happened with two sets back in the mid-2010s. But, well, because I was playing electrostatic pummeler combo, there was no way that my glass bead type things were gonna all fit on the little reminder card that nobody other than this guy had ever told me was necessary. And it's like, one, I don't know if it's listed anywhere in the rules, anywhere in like the tournament rules. We weren't at a very high enforcement level, so like, I guess maybe you could argue that, like, oh, if your opponent has to count all of your little tokens, then you're making the match take longer. But it did kind of sour my mood a little bit because it's like, I spent money on those, I would like to use them. Like, I spent money on these things. And also, again, like, I don't know if there was ever an actual rule, because, like, nobody fucking cited one. Like, if somebody had been like, yeah, you can't use those, it's against the rules, here's where it says that it's against the rules, I would have just complied, because, well, either you follow the rules or you don't play in the tournament. Granted, I mean, that's also the event where I learned the valuable lesson. Never ask your opponent a rules question. Because, like, I got into the top 8. But when I was, well, you know, when I got there to the top 8, in like the first round of top 8, I like accidentally drew one too many cards for my opening hand. I think I might have just been a little frazzled because, like, one, this was actually the very first time I got into the top 8 at a tournament. And my opponent was already like getting on my case because the dude has arbitrarily decided I hadn't shuffled good enough. And it's like, well, nobody has had a problem with the way I shuffle my damn cards this entire tournament. Like, in retrospect, it feels almost a little suspect. Especially given what happened next. I thin out that nose line. It looks a little bit like a very unfortunate mustache. Like when the rest of the face being drawn in with much thinner lines. Like, I accidentally drew one too many cards, and that was not the critical mistake. The critical mistake was asking this guy, oh shit, I messed up, I drew an 8th card, what do I do? To which he said that what's supposed to happen is he gets to look at my entire goddamn hand and pick a card from it. And yes, that is an actual rule in Magic the Gathering tournaments, but not at the rules enforcement level we were at. And it's this kind of shit that makes me glad that I only at this point in time only really attend in-person paper tournaments like 3 times a year. Minimizes the number of incidents like this. Which, granted, like, as far as I'm aware, which is to say, this is the only one that like, and we're like 100% somebody cheated me in a paper tournament. Or at the very least misled, or at the very least misinformed me. Like we could arguably give the guy the benefit of the doubt in that maybe he also didn't know. He was just more confident that he did know. The other incident at a tournament that really comes to mind, it's like, yeah, maybe it's a good thing that I'm only doing this like so like 3 times a year now, rather than probably up to 12. It's actually kind of the reverse situation. in that I was the one who made, I would say, the mistake, given the kind of attitude that I was met with of trying to help an opponent with a rules question. Which means, sure, like in retrospect, yeah, like the way that I was interpreting the rules also did favor me. One thing, as his opponent would come to learn, it's because I was right. Like, I just knew the rules of the game better. But like, maybe don't give me a hostile attitude just for trying to be helpful. Like by all means, like if you doubt what anyone else other than a judge is saying about the rules, absolutely call a judge over. Like, because of the former incident, I pretty much always, like, if I have a rules question, I do not ask my opponent. I go talk to a judge if I'm in a tournament. Because I want to make sure that I'm being told the rules by somebody who knows the rules and has no incentive whatsoever to mislead me on what those rules are. But like, being hostile towards somebody who's just trying to help, and even if you doubt that, you know, the person's trying to help because they're your opponent and in a tournament, like, even if like why even get hostile over what would be like, you know, if you can even classify it as cheating, the easiest cheating to thwart, because you just call a judge. You know, you just get a judge call on the rules question But, you know, there are like, I guess there are some people that just... like, basically assume that their opponent is cheating. At least if, you know, they have any possible reason to be suspicious. But also, like, it was a pre-release event, like no need to get that agitated over somebody trying to explain their understanding of how their own goddamn cards work while you're waiting for the judge to come over. At an event where the prizes are like 8 packs max. It's really like... maybe shit like this is why... is part of why Commander is so popular. Because, well, it's a casual format. You know, like... oh, no wonder! No wonder my readouts on OBS were a little wonky. I bumped the gain dial on my microphone, so I was just quieter. But it's like... like, you know... you'll... ideally... you know, when you're not playing for any kind of prize whatsoever... ideally... that will lead to running into at least fewer cheaters. And so, you know, maybe there's less reason for people to get suspicious. And you know, just like generally a friendlier atmosphere. Or at least, you know, there should be a friendlier atmosphere. But some people just suck. And from what I hear, a number of people that suck have been moved into Commander because it's the most popular format. Me, I don't really play any constructed formats in paper right now. Oh, I do all of it on Arena. Okay, so unfortunately I can't really find like just like a defined list of, oh, here's all of the tokens that are currently in standard. But we're also kind of running out of time. Okay, so I'm just gonna look at the ones that are in the most recent set. It also seems like things might be getting a little laggy, like... At the moment, it would appear that my second monitor is just completely frozen. Maybe I power off my VM again. Yeah, maybe I just call it a little bit early. Yeah, that fixed things. Like something wonky is happening with that VM. So maybe we just call 3. Maybe we just call the 3 that we got not good enough. Which, I mean, like you've also got to consider, like, only having, like, 2 memorable incidents like that out of, like, over a decade of playing in tournaments. That's a pretty good rate, all things considered. Like, you know... Oh, well, I guess there have been some other... some other incidents, and so... But they're less... So Like, there's been some other incidents here and there, but they're less like, so, you know, somebody getting like aggressive or somebody like likely cheating, or at least being misinformed and spreading that misinformation with confidence. And more, there have been times when people just can't, when people at tournaments have just kind of treated me like I was stupid because they didn't understand my question. Because I remember one time, I was like, oh, is this like this other card? Because it seemed to have it had an effect that was at the very least similar. And like, yeah, sometimes like sometimes the way a card works is different, even if it's a very similar effect, based on just how it's worded. And so I asked, like, hey, is this card similar to this other card? You know what response I got to that question? Which I mean, wasn't from a judge. So again, another reason to not ask. Another reason to save my rules questions for judges, as if I'm in tournaments. Because the response I got, that card's not in standard. Yeah, I know, dipshit. I was asking if this card is like that one. Bet you feel real smart. Didn't say any of that because, well, I try. Yeah, at least in person, I generally try and be polite. After all, if I had been rude in response to that, chances are the situation would end with me being deemed to be the asshole. Like, I would at the very least have had to clarify politely. And, you know, I just wanted to know if the card worked similar, because that effect is important to the functionality of the deck that I was playing. So, you know, I guess the takeaway from all of this is, if you have a rules question, ask a judge, and do not bother to try and help your opponent understand things. You know, just fully leave all rules stuff to the judges if you're in a tournament. Whether you are the person with the question or the person that at least thinks they have an answer. Right, it's quarter to 4. There's no time to really do anything else. So I'm just gonna call it here. So thank you for watching. To everybody that stopped by tonight, or who was watching on YouTube. Next stream in general is planned for for Monday with some more Minecraft. And maybe there will be another art stream at some point. I don't know. Probably not Kid Picks, given that trying to run Kid Picks seems to cause my computer to have problems.